Hey there, writers. If you haven't been here before, my name is Emma. I'm a UK-based writer of contemporary romance. I also, though, am writing a Regency romance and I write children's picture books. I'm a freelance developmental editor and book coach, and I'm also a creative writing instructor. So I do a lot, and today's video is a bit of an update about what I've been up to, what this year so far has looked like, and what I'm planning for the next couple of months. So, right, let's get straight into it. Work-wise, honestly, I have been quite awesome, and I don't know how, because fate, the world, whatever, has thrown a lot at our little family. Well, since before the new year, actually, but basically this year has not been the easiest, and somehow I'm still there, like getting the things done, which is awesome. So firstly, I have finished my book, which I started in NaNoWriMo in November. So this is going to be the first part in a series. I've never written a series before, so this is exciting, and it's going to be set in a Welsh seaside town. So that has been sent off to my publisher, and fingers crossed that they will like it and they will want to offer me a contract for it. We'll just have to see. So that was really exciting. Big news, the really big news when it comes to actually writing, although there is some other news, but this is the big news. The big news for anybody who has been here for a while and following my journey will know my attempts at writing my first Regency romance and what a nightmare it has been. So drum roll, but I don't want to do that because it's going to make things knock and stuff. But anyway, imaginary drum roll. I have finished the first draft of my Regency romance. This is a huge deal. Basically, all the words are there, the characters and everything, like, you know, all the plots, you know, subplot, blah, blah, blah. It's all there. It's all looking good. And so now I am moving on to the second draft, which will be much, much easier. So, yeah, I finished that. Was it at the end of last month? Yes, it was the end of last month. So I'm hoping this month that I will be doing the second draft, which would be lovely. However, I have been stopped in my tracks a little bit for the lovely reason that I have just been incredibly popular with my developmental editing services, and I've had a lot of work on with that. So so far this month, and it's the 13th, so nearly halfway through the month, I haven't been able to work on that draft, purely because I want to be able to immerse myself in it. I don't think it's a good idea to start it, you know, kind of just doing like an hour here and an hour there. I want to really be able to devote myself to it. So I have been hoping that I would get a bit of a break in between editing jobs at some point, but it's not looking that way at the moment. But it's weird. They tend to come in clumps, and then I will always have a bit of time without any editing work. So I'm kind of hoping that that comes quite soon, actually. Yeah. So then the other thing is that for some reason, and I really have no idea why this is, but I have been coming up with so many story ideas. It's been really lovely. Or maybe not necessarily story ideas, but like ideas for scenes, for characters and things like that. I mean, quite a few actual stories as well. But it seems that I've like opened up some creativity or something like that. I don't know if it's because I haven't got it with me, but I now have a little book which I try to have around me where I can note down if I hear like an interesting conversation, if I see something that kind of sparks an idea or something like that, and easily get them down. So I'm wondering if that's the difference, if I'm just kind of making more of a note of them. But it's been really, really nice. Anyway, I have decided on my next contemporary romance to work on, and it is a Christmas book, which those people who are fans of the humble Christmas romance will be very pleased with. And it's going to be set in Italy, which will hopefully mean a research trip to Italy with a bit of luck. I don't think my husband will take that much convincing, to be honest. I filmed a short which I put up like last week, I think it was, about me starting to make notes and plot this new book, and saying that I'd started off using this notepad, but it just wasn't right. It didn't feel right. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the spiral binding. I don't know. So my husband bought me a pack of these books, which are my favorite. This one's upside down. What I need to put the title on there so that I know what way up it goes. But these are moleskin, and they're like flexible, so they're just easier to stuff in bags and things, and I really like these, so I think that the plotting is going to come on really, really well now that I have the correct notebook. Only thing with these is that if you are messy like me, they're not wiped clean, so by the time I have finished writing this book, this notebook will be completely disgusting, with olive oil stains in particular, from where it's been in the kitchen while I'm cooking. So that will not be a good look, but I am pleased with how it's coming. Most of my books are set in either England or Wales, so it's quite fun to step outside of that and to do one based in Italy, and I'm really hoping to incorporate a lot of Italian Christmas traditions into the story, so that should be lots of fun. My other big news regarding writing is that in less than a week there is going to be the Romantic Novelists Association Awards ceremony, and my book A Scottish Christmas is shortlisted for Best Festive Romance, I think it is. Yeah, so that's really, really exciting. It would be lovely to win. I don't win stuff typically. It would be lovely to win, but of course it's an honour just to be nominated. And all the other books and all the other authors who have been shortlisted are amazing and fantastic. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to be going to the ceremony for reasons to do with all of the rubbish that has been happening to us at the moment, but I'll really enjoy looking at all the photos and things afterwards, and I wish everybody luck who is shortlisted for any of the categories as well, including, I suppose, the people who were shortlisted in my category, even though I would like to win. So yeah. Anyway, so that is what I've been up to, as well as lots of editing jobs. And yeah, I'm really, really pleased with how things have moved on. Like I say, my plan going forward is that second draft of my Regency book, and that will then mean that I can start querying that story with publishers. So that will be really exciting to get to the point where I'm kind of sending it off, because it has been a very long time. Yes, this Christmas book as well, that's what I will be focusing on next month. I'll be kind of plotting it for the rest of this month, and then the idea is to start writing it next month and probably take a couple of months to do the first draft of that. So yeah, that will be really cool as well. Another something that I have potentially in the works is I did a video a few weeks ago all about the end of National Novel Writing Month and how the company that kind of runs that whole thing is going to be no more. And so really the challenge won't exist. And I wrote a book especially on how to win NaNoWriMo. So it is very, very relevant to people who just want to write a draft quickly, in particular in 30 days, because NaNoWriMo ran for 30 days during November. There's a lot of really, really useful information in there, but there is stuff that is kind of NaNoWriMo specific, and also the title has NaNoWriMo in it. So I'm debating kind of doing a new edition or a rewrite of that book, which would be fun. It is really nice to kind of step away from romance for a little bit and write some non-fiction. I do really enjoy that, but we'll see if I've got time. Romance is very much my priority at the moment. So yeah, that's what's going on. At the moment I am without a publishing contract. My contract with my current publishers finished with my last book, A Scottish Christmas. So I don't like that. I wonder if it's just me, or if there are other authors who are used to having a contract, and I have contracts for kind of 4 or 5 books at a time usually, or I have done. So it feels funny not to have a contract. So I'm really hopeful that they will like my idea for my romance series, and that will be signed. Yeah, and then I'll just kind of feel happier when I'm under contract, I think, and when I've got kind of a schedule for when those books need to be written. One thing that I will say though is that if you are signing with a publisher, and if they do suggest a schedule which you are not sure you will be able to manage, it is really important, and it's completely okay to say that. And I think publishers will appreciate that and would rather your honesty. So for example, I know that if my publisher, they wouldn't do this, but if they did say that they wanted a book every 3 months from me, from this point where only one of the books is actually written and the others are sort of coming together as little ideas, I kind of know who the couples are going to be for the other ones, but not much else. At the moment, I would have to say to them, like, no, I can't possibly write them that quickly with everything else that I've got going on, and suggest a different publishing schedule, one every 6 months, one every year, or something like that. And I do think it's important to be honest about things like that, because I think it's far better for the publisher to know in advance what you're going to be able to do, rather than you having to get in touch with them and saying, look, I'm really sorry, I can't produce this. I know that you were expecting it and that you've got it all lined up in your publication schedule, but I just can't do it. I think it's just better to be honest up front. Well, there you go. So yeah, it has been a busy few months work-wise. I've really enjoyed it, and I do feel like I'm moving quite a few projects forward, which is really cool. But if anybody has waited around to hear back from publishers or from agents about manuscript before, you just know, like, you're desperate to hear back, to get that email, and you just want them to hurry up. Your story is amazing. Like, why aren't they just replying straight away and offering you a huge advance and a huge contract? Yeah, so I will let you know when there is any news or anything like that, and also what happens at the award ceremony next week, which is very exciting. I've never been up for award before, I don't think. I don't think I have. Well, not since. Yeah, I don't win stuff in general. But yeah, we will see what happens. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this video today. I hope that it was interesting. And if you have any questions, please pop them down in the comments below, and I will catch you in the next one.